Greetings, infinite blessings, and welcome to another moment of now. Today, I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know about what the ego is and how to actually live in harmony, in compromise with it, as opposed to seeing it as something that is separate to you or defying you, something that you need to vanquish or even kill. Ego death in the spiritual world is something which is talked about very often, but not enough is talked about compromise, as every relationship we have is built through trust and compromise. If the ego would be likened to somebody outside you and you were trying to defy them, undermine them, and even go about trying to destroy them, they're going to do everything they can to dig their heels in and allow themselves some form of happiness to keep their life continuing forwards. So the ego is just that. It is our viewpoint of self, our perception of self, our projected self. The ego is this body, this mind, the thoughts, and my viewpoint of my placement in society. Dressed like this, my ego would come forth and say, I am professional, I am assertive, I hold a place in society that demands authority, respect. Dressed like this, I project myself in a completely different way. So who's the true me? The me that is wearing a baseball cap? Or the me that is wearing a suit? The me that is a father? Or the me that is a free and actualized self-sustained adult? The me that is a member of society? Or the me that lives freely and independently? In truth, I am all of these, and none at the same time. I exist as 1,000 different versions within 1,000 different minds. I am all of these, yet none at the same time. So each way that somebody perceives me and views me, actually within their reality is the way that I exist. So it's up to me to project myself however I want to be seen. It's up to me to live free. Free as I am, the free and sovereign being behind it all. The ego is just like an outfit that we wear, and dependent on our upbringing, the way that we have been educated, the situations and learnings that we have been part of, the information passed down to us by our parents, we will take certain information and we will place it upon us. Ego masks are a way of placing a certain mask, just like a certain outfit on, to represent a certain way of being to different people in life. So think about it. You behave and act differently when you're with your mother, your grandmother, your friends, your colleagues, to when you're on your own. An ego is just like another person. You are the free and sovereign being behind it. You are the soul that is experiencing this self. But without the ego, there is no self. There is no sense of self. Without my egoic self, I have no sense of self. I have no understanding that I am separate to the wall or to you. Therefore, I have no way of actually having separate experiences. The ego believes that its viewpoint and its experiences are superior to all others. It is a way that is being hardwired into its being, into its programming, to make sure that it always keeps you safe. I am superior, I am confident, I am correct, therefore I am good enough to exist and to continue forward in that way. If you do not understand something around you, say you don't understand a different religion or culture or sexual preference of a person, instead of looking into it, accepting it for what it is, knowing that they're unique in their own way and that's perfect, or even going about trying to learn and educate yourself to understand their perspective and their viewpoint more efficiently, more authentically, let's say. The ego will actually just shun it, say, well, I don't understand that, and that makes me feel insuperior. So instead of feeling insuperior and accepting I don't understand something, I will condemn that which I don't understand and try to destroy it. It is the reason that men have repressed women throughout time. It is the reason that white man has repressed the coloured man throughout time. It is the reason that all sexual preferences and choices have been repressed and hindered throughout time. It's the reason that religions go to war against each other, even though the main foundation that all religions are built on is an expression of love and connection to the fellow man and womankind around them. So let's liken the ego for a moment to an overprotective parent, because that in some ways is what it is. The ego is there to keep you safe, to protect you, and it will do so in any manner of ways, most likely either fight or flight. If there is a potential danger, whether it is real or just fabricated within the mind, because that which we experience is all in the mind. Past exists as a memory of it in the mind. The future is your projection of an unknown event and a desire to manipulate or control it in the mind. And this present moment now, the gift of now, all of this information that is taking place is perceived and processed in the mind, and then we respond accordingly. So, when we don't mind, it doesn't matter. And if we have an overprotective parent that won't allow us to go outside dressed in a certain way, or that won't allow us to see certain people, they're doing so to try to keep us safe, to try to keep us healthy and happy, just as the ego does. Don't go out like that. People might look at you. People might think differently of you or look down upon you. Just as the way that we represent ourselves, the ego projection of self. Don't go out like that. Somebody might think that you're scruffy, or somebody might think that you're a troublemaker. That is likened to that overprotective parent. Put on a coat so you don't get cold. And that's part of a logical realization within the self. If it's raining and you go outside, you're going to get wet. Or you take with you an umbrella, and then you can actually keep yourself dry whilst continuing upon that enjoyable journey. So let's go back to the clothing that we don, the representation of ourself. Because in truth, our ego is linked into our higher self, and it is there as almost an employee. So you're the boss, your soul is the boss, and you are experiencing everything that you do through the avatar body, through the physical structure of self. The ego is there to do as you bid, as you will. But it does so dependent on all the information it has at its disposal. What you experienced as a child and you took to be factual, what you did that kept you safe, you will continue subconsciously the same program until you learn a new way. If as a child you were threatened in some way, shape or form, and you ran away from the threat and it kept you safe, the next time there's a threatening situation, you will act in the same way. And once you do it a third time, due to the rule of 3, it is then a programmed response within the subconscious mind. Then anytime you feel potential danger from outside yourself, you will run away. That's beneficial if you're being chased by a saber-toothed tiger or if somebody is here to attack you. It is not so beneficial if it is a potential fear of becoming embarrassed at standing up and speaking in front of other people, addressing them, presenting a conference, or just speaking your truth. One of my programs was speaking, was projecting myself authentically and artistically in a feminine nature, just to go, ah. I can't sing on a high pitch, but the freedom to express myself in that way is my freedom of expression. When I was a kid and I sang in the back of my dad's car, he turned around and looked at me and scolded me, throwing all sorts of profanities at me. And in that single moment, I was so traumatized that I would do anything possible never to experience that ridicule from the person that I required approval from the most in life. So I shut down, closed down completely, didn't express myself anymore, kept myself quiet and small. Because in doing so, I wouldn't receive that ridicule. I was keeping myself safe. But walking around like this and speaking like this which has been one of the biggest transformations in my life, is the projection of self, the confidence just to speak my truth. And in truth, it is not confidence that is required, it's just an acceptance that I am me and you are you, and your perception and your viewpoint is perfect, as is mine. And mine matters not at all, neither does yours. It's just information shared. And the more information that we can share, the more conversations we can have with different people, the more perceptions we can actually take. By looking only through my lenses of perception, I have my view of the world, and that will all it will ever be. If I take off my lenses and I put on yours and look at it from your perspective, I gain all the information through your perspective. I enrich and grow myself as well as the collective. So the overprotective parent, it is most beneficial not to say, no, mum, dad, fuck you, it's my life, I'm going out doing what I want. It's more beneficial to actually have a compromise and harmony. Okay, I understand. I get the fact that if I go out wearing this short dress or this skimpy top, that I may attract potential people, let's say energy connections, because that's all it really is. If somebody is attractive in nature and projecting themselves confidently, specifically women here, then men will see them and they will try to attach to them, going, oh, you're attractive, I want some of you. I'm going to hook my little hook into you and I'm going to drain you or try to pump my energy into you. Unfortunately, men have become very degraded in the sexual desires that we experience. Sex is viewed as something now to be hidden, to be shunned, that it's almost dirty because of the way that society has projected it to be, specifically within pornography, as well as the women that are used and abused in that manner, in that industry. And anybody listening who is a professional actress or actor, I don't mean to disrespect you here, but I cannot help but feel that you do what you do because you feel you have to, because there is a program in place that is what you are worth. Even if you're getting paid an absolute fortune, you feel that your place is to take or to give that negative energy, because that's what it is, negative energy. And that is what the ego is trying to protect you against. The projection is that it may be words, it may be looks, it may be gropes, it may be a confrontation, you may even become attacked physically. In truth, everything behind it, if we can look at it as an energetic exchange, the ego is basically saying, I'm going to place a bubble of protection around you so you stay safe. When you want to go outside dressed in a skimpy outfit, your father says, I'm going to place a coat of protection around you to keep you safe. It's the same thing, but just from a different perspective. When we can view it all as energy, it is simple to understand. So with a coat on, we keep dry. We stay disconnected from the elements around us. In my bubble of safety and security, I am warm, I am protected. The ego is doing its job very efficiently. If we become too egoically controlled and isolated, we can literally push everybody away from us, disconnecting every exchange of information that we would otherwise be able to experience. What the ego does, likened to a coat, is it goes about, instead of just allowing for things to take place, being like a duck to water, knowing that the water will run off you, as long as you just accept whatever has been, what is and what will come, that you are free from it. It is only the attachment to it or the desire for it to be any other way that creates conflict within. Everything that's taken place in the past is. It has happened, it is happening, and there is nothing that you can do to alter the physical representation of that event. Everything happening now is taking place. If it's raining, it is raining. You can't change the fact it's raining. So what you do is you accept it and you act accordingly. You either put on a coat, take an umbrella, or decide to alter your plans to go outside and have a picnic on a different day. The more isolated and separated you become, the safer you are. Yes, great. but the more disconnected you are as well. Knowing that we are love embodied and that love is always the answer, the ego will actually try to keep you separated and protected from love as well as everything else. Once you put on your coat, you're wearing your coat. You're disconnected from everything outside yourself. The good, the bad, and the ugly. It's the acceptance of it all, accepting the good, the bad, and the ugly that will set you free. So, with the ego being likened to a coat, instead of allowing the rain to just wash over you, somebody throws a negative comment at you, the ego is there to protect you from it, yeah? So somebody's chucking all this negative energy at you, or this hatred, or this hostility, or desiring to control you, or manipulate you, or tell you what to do, undermine you, whatever it is, they're chucking all this information, all this energy at you. The ego's job is literally to be a duck to water, to allow it all to flow off, to allow it to wash over you, not attaching to it. Unfortunately, because the ego is the sense of self, the individual I, as opposed to the collective I, if we likened it to a river and somebody comes along and throws rubbish in the river does not blame the person for throwing rubbish. It does not take it personally that they've come along and thrown rubbish into the river. It doesn't say, well, I'm a river and you're an arsehole. Why are you throwing rubbish in me? That's not fair. It doesn't take it any one way. It doesn't mind. So it doesn't matter. It's only when we attach our mind to it and a desire for it to be any other way that it matters. Somebody chucks rubbish in the river just flows the rubbish away. If the river was to attach to it and hold on to it, then that area within the river would become negatively affected, hostile in vibration, and actually start to detrimentally affect all bodies of life in that river. Somebody comes along and insults you, look at it as though they're projecting their internal frustrations or insecurities externally, and you just happen to be there. If it triggers you and affects you, if you become upset by it, it's because your ego has attached a sense of worth to it. Okay, this is incredibly powerful. If you are told you're stupid, as an example, by somebody, and you go, okay, that's interesting that you're calling me stupid. I know I'm not stupid. So that to me suggests that you feel stupid, or that you feel threatened by me and my intelligence, let's say. So you're trying to project the fact that you feel stupid onto me. So your ego's going, oh, I feel stupid. I can't feel stupid. You feel stupid, not me. I'm the mighty ego. You're stupid. You over there. It's your fault. You're stupid. Okay? If you are affected by it, if somebody says you're stupid and you feel it and you take it in and you become affected by it, it's literally as though the coat has attached to it. The river has owned it. It's gone, okay, you've thrown rubbish into me. That means that must be my rubbish. I'm rubbish, I'm going to hold it and I'm going to be rubbish and I'm going to act rubbish and feel rubbish and lower myself to be rubbish. Yeah. If somebody comes along and says you're stupid and it affects you, it's because your ego has said there's something there that represents or reminds me of a previous experience where I felt stupid that I haven't accepted and let go of. It's like having a filing cabinet and there's a file that says stupid and there's so many pieces of paperwork in it. Somebody comes along and says stupid and you take the piece of paper from them that says stupid, open the filing cabinet up, place it in there. And then in the same time, you're reminded of all those previous times you felt stupid. And you see how much information is in that folder and you feel stupid because you've collected and taken all of those pieces of paper from people through the past. Oh, you say I'm stupid? Yeah, okay, I'll take that. I believe you. Yep, okay. The ego will then try and actually defy or run away or fight it again. So fight is to go, fuck you, I'm not stupid, you're stupid. Oh, come on then, let's fight. Which is very wounded masculine in frequency. Or the wounded inner child would be to run away. I don't want to feel stupid, I'm going to run away. The true self would just stand there and say, well, I'm a being of unlimited potential and knowledge. I'm free and magnificent in all my glory, stood here unapologetically, shining my light truthfully. You say I'm stupid. That's very interesting. Thank you for your perception and your opinion. I appreciate you and your view. And I'd just like to say, I love you. Yeah, but you're stupid. That's very well and good. It doesn't change the fact that I love you. Yeah, but I'm telling you you're stupid. That's fine. I take that and I allow it to just flow by. Just as watching a cloud that is dark and potentially holds within it negative energy. It reminds me of something scary. I don't attach to the cloud thinking that it defies me or that it affects me or that I own it or it's part of me. I just accept it as something that's over there and allow it to flow by. Just as I allow the more wispy and beautiful clouds that potentially look like butterflies or dolphins to flow by. We get to a point where we can actually open ourselves. This took me a very long time. And before this, I got to a point where my ego was so wounded and focused on keeping me safe that I became 18 stone of anger and muscle. Muscle fueled by anger, walking around like this, glaring at everyone, wondering why everywhere I went I saw things to make me angry and people that were angry in response. It's knowing that we don't need our ego, that we don't need our coat, that we'll stay dry anyway. Even if we become wet, it doesn't matter. It's part of the process. It's opening yourself up, opening up your heart center and shining that love through you to those around you. As I breathe in universal pranic life force energy from the heavens above, as it enters into me and fills me, it's beautiful. I've opened myself up as well as having grounded myself so the energy can flow through me. But unless I open myself up in my heart, I cannot shine it from me. And it is releasing that energy from the center of me to you that is likened to this universal energy entering into me and then shining from me to you. I can then see that energy reflected upon you and experience it outside of me, remembering the truth that will set you free. That it's always love. Love is always the answer. It's love that is the key. The key that will unlock a door deep within and set not only you, but the whole world free. It's always love. Whatever way you look at it, whatever the question, the answer is love. Ego is scared of going outside and being around lots of people. Okay, ego, I see you. So you're trying to keep me safe from lots of people. So therefore, there's an event or a situation in the past where I became traumatized around lots of people. You've taken that to mean that lots of people cause me trauma, so you're protecting me from it. I see you and I thank you for that. Truly, I thank you and I love you for keeping me safe from other people. I'd like to actually share with you the information required so that you can see that I'm not threatened or in danger from lots of other people. That what happened when I was 5 and that traumatized me and that I took to be fact and I placed in a box and I put away in the darkness, in that moment, that decision was made. We have the moment of now to make a new decision, a decision which actually sets us free, that expands on what is already there. The work I do, the work that I would be absolutely honoured and privileged to guide you through, if you are ready to face those inner demons, is to expand on what is already there. We never take away, we expand. We complete the self through the expansion of the self. We gain all the information that is lost in the darkness of the mind lost in the darkness of the subconscious, lost in the areas of connection to self on a spiritual and soul-based level of frequency, and we unlock it, and we integrate it back into the whole. This video will actually follow on, or the next video will be shadow work. Shadow work explained, what it is and how to go about doing it yourself, because everything that you do is you. It starts and ends with you. The liberation and expansion of the human consciousness starts with you. The world of true equality, of peace and harmony, is started and actualized and completed by you. Everything that you need, everything that you will ever need, rests within you. And you connect to, again, here being your energy center, breathing in that energy, flowing it through you and back up to your heart and out of you. This is the way that you liberate yourself, and through the liberation of yourself, you liberate everybody else. So it's all there within you. I'm simply a guide to guide you along a journey, a path, the most beneficial path with the least resistance, so that you can reach your destination of choosing joyfully and blissfully. It's going to be hard. It's really hard. It's one of the most traumatic and repressive, heavy and difficult things you'll ever do, because that is the exact reason that it is there. This thing happened, the ego saw it, took it, put it away in the dark, out of sight, out of mind. Don't need to look at that anymore, I'll keep you safe from it. But as well as keeping you safe from the trauma involved, it's actually keeping you safe from the learnings that are required to set you free from that trauma. Again, whatever you are fearful of. If you're fearful of spiders, maybe you saw something as a child. Maybe one of your parents were scared of spiders and passed that program to you. Whatever it is, ask yourself, is it rational? Is it logical? Is it logical to be scared of an event that is going to potentially take place in a week's time? It's not happening now. And the more you focus upon that, the more you actually align yourself with it and walk upon that journey towards it. Compromise, ego love. Know that when it does put its hood up to keep you safe and wraps you up warm, keeps you protected, lowers your head so nobody makes eye contact with you, nobody potentially looks at you so you don't feel threatened, that's all very well and good. You are keeping yourself safe. But you're also limiting your potential enjoyment and your ability to view and to connect to everything around you. The coat is always there. The ego is always there. Without my ego, again, I have no sense of who I am, because I have no understanding of separation. Whatever way that you project yourself to be is perfect. It's perfect to me, because I can see the truth of who you are. And I know that whatever character that you are playing in my game of life is perfect, because you are there to play your role, to bring the information or to do whatever it is that you are there to do in perfection, as I am there to fulfill my role in your game perfectly. If I am your guru, your teacher, your sharer of information and wisdom, and I allow you to connect back to the truth of who you are, then I'm doing my role, my job perfectly. To somebody else, I may be a repressor. I may be their source of feeling victimized, feeling as though that they are out of control in themselves. And if that is the case, then that is perfect as well. Because one day they'll get to the point where they become so restricted in who they are, so wrapped up in their coat of protection, that they go, you know what, I've had enough of this, which is what I did. I'm going to cast off all those potential fears and just live free. Cast it open. Let the chips fall where they may, knowing that everything that's happened in the past has been perfect to bring me to where I am now, and that everything that is happening now is perfect to take me to where I'm going, that I am perfect. It just depends on which version of perfection that I would rather experience. One where I am limited and lacking and controlled and protected by my ego, or one where I am free to do and to choose exactly what my heart desires as and when. It's almost the difference between a logical mind and a heartfelt decision. It's very important to analyse things because that's how we discover the way that they work. And it's also very important to come from a heartfelt place, aligning vibrationally with that which you are. If you allow the ego to keep you safe, to keep you locked up as an overprotective parent, then it will do so because it thinks it's keeping you safe. If you say, okay, Dad, I see that, let me go out in this way, shape or form, let me go and do this, this or this, X, Y or Z, whatever it is you want to do, and we'll test. If it results in me becoming affected or traumatized or attacked even, then we will act accordingly. But I would rather go out and live freely, choosing what I wish to do, as opposed to staying in a bubble, a cocoon of safety. And if you have been in that cocoon for a very long time, then that's perfect in itself. Because we all know what emerges from a cocoon. As you have previously been crawling around mindlessly, eating, consuming as part of that consumerist way of life. You go into the darkness, you sit in the darkness, in that heavy, repressive feeling, and then you emerge, weightless and limitless, able to fly and to soar to new heights of existence the other side. If you found this video beneficial, interesting, educational, enriching in any way, shape or form, make sure that you have subscribed to the channel, share it with anybody that you know it might assist, and drop me a comment. Please let me know where you are and how this has assisted you upon your journey. You have within you everything you need, and it is my honour to remind you of this truth. Once again, my name is Kaine Stromberg, the Cosmic Surfer. As now and forever, we are surfing the waves of existence together. Blah, blah, blah. United we stand, and together we rise. All my love. All my love. Until next time. Namaste. I almost forgot to mention, and now that I'm back in my businessman suit, my authoritative projection of self, allow me to use the manipulated way of society that makes part of you believe that because I am projecting myself to be superior in some way, shape or form that I am, what a load of bullshit, because we're all equal and unique in our own perfect ways. And we are, truly, equal. What I have done in the last few years to become this person that I am now so enjoying experiencing life through, you have within you the potential to far out superiorize or to become a more greater version of yourself than I am, because I can give you all the information you require. So, yes, hello, I am Businessman and I would like to promote or to pitch you our new and upcoming... What I would like to say is that we are creating a portal, a place for all awakening and ascending beings to come together. The portal to a new realm of existence, and knowing that everything is energy vibrating at different frequencies, and what we focus our attention upon is what we grow, where we vibrate in accordance with is what we will create. That if there is something that is seen as negative or oppressive and that you focus upon it, then you will be aligning yourself to that negative and repressive frequency of existence and feeding into it. If instead we all come together in a place that is safe to be and express ourselves in whatever way, shape or form that we are, then we can learn and grow and become something far more enriched and expansive together. Me focusing my energy and my vision of perception on a future world that I am creating is amazing to be part of. If 100 of us come together and do the same, focus our intention on a single point, 1,000, 100,000, 1 million, 10 million, 10 million souls around the world, all coming together, all with a single focus of attention. When we know that something has happened around the world that is negative in perception, we all focus our love and our light upon it. We all meditate together at specific times for specific reasons to create specific things. We all gain and build that universal pranic energy within us and then channel it to something, to the birth of something marvelous, to the birth of the new world that we are co-creating together today. Thank you. Thank you for who you are and everything you do. And I look forward to connecting with you within the portal very soon. Click the link below, head over and find out more information. Join the portal, become one of the ambassadors of light, and travel forth as that beacon of inspiration to help light the surroundings and guide others lost in the fog and the illusion of the matrix back home to themselves. I love you all equally and unconditionally, exactly as you are. Until next time.